infinite intelligence. So today I'm led to share my ADHD gift. My ADHD gift, right, is why way before this you see before you right now came into play, I'd already seen it. I'd seen the man I would grow into as a child. That was why when I was asked as early as age 4, who do you want to be in future? I said I want to be a boy. Only because that was how I understood it with the society around me. It didn't make sense other than the words I had. It's expressing the society around me literally. Me using the society around me to understand what I see. That was me as a child. And this was a torment for me because imagine seeing yourself totally different every time, even when you look in the mirror, and yet it's only you that can see it. Other people don't see what you see. So, this is my foundation. My foundation is growing up from that circumstances, right? Where only me saw what I was seeing and nobody else saw it. And it didn't make sense to anybody else, just me, right? So, that is why I am not someone that needs for somebody to see what I see to understand it is going to happen because it has already happened, right? This me I see, right, is still a very small version compared to the me that is yet to fully actualize. So I can tell you that I am only growing. I don't even have gym access. I've not been to the gym in how many years. I saw someone do a video about it and I said close enough. As that was my comment on the video because I know they tried to pick at me and I'm like, you can say anything you want, but I'm not spending anything to grow to work out. I don't go to the gym, right? I hardly eat 3 times a day and yet I work out every day and I can increase. So tell me why I will see wisdom if I'm not trying to show that I'm wealthy, or if I'm not trying to prove, perform for the crowd of people to like me, to see me as someone that they want to be associated with. Because if all those things is why you want to be associated with me, the truth is it's disgusting for me to think that I would want to be associated with someone because of external things. That's how my brain works. I've never in my life been that kind of a person. Doesn't even make sense to me. Like, it's like, are you kidding me? Right? I've never been that kind of a person. So when I see people that do that, they use that to value themselves. That is why they do that. It is because they have used material things to give themselves value in the sense of feel good about themselves, right? Give themselves importance, still feeling good about themselves. Whether anyhow you want to shift the question, everything boils down to they're using all that to feel good about themselves. If you notice why someone would rather speak big grammar than simple English for people to understand when their aim is to communicate, right? Is to feel good about themselves that they are speaking better than the next person. If not, it is simple English they will use. So all these common things that you can sense wouldn't be common sense to you if you don't understand the bottom line of everything we do. We strive to do is to feel good. Now, I don't work out to feel good. That's the difference. I work out to express my fire of ADHD. So I am just working out every day, like I go to the toilet every day. Do you get? It's the same likeness. The same reason I'll go to the toilet is the same reason I work out. It's just like the same function to me in my head. There's no special thing to it. And it's not like I eat 3 times a day, like people that eat more than I do, right? Yet I'm the biggest masculine energy in my family, and not just in my family, in my compound and in my area. And the funny thing is that all that is like nonsense. It doesn't make any sense to me. There's nothing special about it. Why? Because I'm just the biggest of all the shit, right? Not because I'm shit, but the truth is, king of thieves, right, is the content that determines the cover. I don't know how to put it. It is like explaining the chef. You see, I love the culinary arts for something about its its sensitive feeling of romance. I don't know how to express it. It has a way of teaching royalty, like kingship, like from that royal family, that kind of feeling. That's how I feel about the culinary arts. Sorry, hope I pronounced it right. So the chef, right, is the chief of cooks. You see that is because they are cooks. He's just the chief of cooks. The same way we are all right, and the leader is just representing what the container holds. So that is why there's nothing really special about it because one big person, right, is not really big. That's just the truth. There's nothing big about one big person when the rest are nothing to write up about, right? When the rest are not feeling good. One person feeling good does not solve the whole feeling good when the rest don't value why they should feel good. Now, the thing is, you can't do anything but respect people's free will because people have different learning stages of understanding. They cannot learn the way you will learn. Nobody learns the same way, not even identical twins. It's just the same way our fingerprints are uniquely different. That's not even identical twins have the same fingerprint, right? So, because of that reason, all these things that would make sense to other people, they really have no stand with me, like at all. I'm not trying to perform, I'm not interested in impressing. I'd rather be offline working out than online showing off because I have no reason to show off. Whether I have light or I don't have light, I will still grow. So it's really in my pocket, right? It's my business. It doesn't really change anything about other people, right? But the truth is, at the same time, some people see it as a reason to want to change. And this brings me to what it would be like, right, if love is all there is in our lives. A world full of love. A world full of love. Imagine me expressing a world full of love. The first thing I would do if I'm conscious in a world full of love is I'll open my eyes, right? And what I'll see around me, right, is everywhere would be clean. Not because there is a crime in not being clean or there's a police that would shoot you if you're not clean, but because everybody with their pure intentional of their heart, right? Everybody is concerned about the state of where they exist within. They want to do the little good thing they can to make it better as much as they can, even if it's just ensuring that the space around them is clean, right? That would be one of the things I would see once I wake up, once I open my eyes into consciousness. The next thing I'll see is that when I go outside my door, right, I'll see that even before I go outside my door, let me not go too far. Once I open my eyes and I get up from my bed, everywhere is clean, right? Because everybody is always, it's not like we're trying to, it's just a normal thing that we have all started doing, and so everywhere is clean. Then everywhere will be smiling, everybody will be smiling, there'll be lights, I'll have electricity because everybody is trying to help each other. So there wouldn't be a rigid system of leadership that would see any value in caste system. So there won't be any isolated people that are not feeling good, that are suffering and cannot do much to help themselves, and yet their suffering keeps increasing just to make some people feel they have power. Because if not, there's really no power that exists other than love we exist within. And they know it that the only power is love. It's just that, as we said, the light of God, if you saw that video, the title was The Light of God. You see that the light, right? That light that is God, right? It is the only power in all of the distance that increases when it is positive and it reduces when it is negative. This is commonly sensed. That is why when you feel good, you look bright, right? It brightens, your energy glows. The only power in all of existence increases. That's the truth. Whether you are conscious or you are not conscious of it. When people are feeling good, the only power in all of existence increases, right? And when people are not feeling good, the only power in all of existence has a depreciation. Whether you think you are not connected to them, you are connected to them. All of existence is connected. It's one energy. So it will show, right, in the energy expressed. But imagine a world where everybody feels good because everybody understands love is all there is, not because they are trying to be important. They feel good because they know that they are worthy to exist. So there is no caste system of power. There is no rape. There is nothing like rape because every masculine understands that it is stupidity to force, right, a feminine energy when she's not giving her free will, because she has to be feeling good for you to enter her, right? That's the truth. If she's not feeling good and you cross that line, you are only destroying yourself. So there won't be anything like killings, violence. There won't be any need to protect anyone because there wouldn't be any cause for negativity to exist. There would be creativity going on because now our attention is no more on fighting, bringing down each other. Our attention is on building, trying to grow. The attention would change focus from the state of lack to a state of abundance. And you will see that there's actually no lack. It is just some people that want to feel powerful because that is the only way they can feel good. Because without power, they feel miserable, they feel useless, they are not anything to them. They don't know that you just need to exist to be worthy. Because what do you think arrogance is coming from? For you to think that arrogance is something that is love that created it, you say, how can God create arrogance? But God itself feels like that when it creates a human being. It has so much prestige and royal intentions. You know what it is to use yourself to create something. God, you need to understand that something that I use myself to do is valuable. Just ordinary foam I created that looks like trash because it's unwashable, or I haven't even tried to wash it, right? Something I managed to create out of nonsense. How it feels like so much value to throw it away. You see the feeling. So how can you think that God that used itself has meaningless reasons for creating existence? So when I hear people say that God is there's the life is meaningless, is worthless, is just empty. There's no intention. I'm like, so you think God is just stupid? Or I don't understand. You think God will not just have any intention? No, there's nothing. You don't know that what you existed in. If you know God, oh God, you will be shouting God. You will never stop shouting God for the rest of your life if you experience God. Never would you. You need to experience it to know that it does not create blindly. God is not blind. If something can know all the hair on your head, that they are all labeled, they are named. They're not just named, they sweet talk them to function. Because if there is no harmony, your physical body cannot come into form. So every cell that it takes to make up your body is energy that had to harmonize together. And you think that God is worthless. How dare you? How dare you? Do you know what you existed in? If you know God, you will see that it is overworthy or more than overworthy to scream for all of existence because God exists and because you existed in God. When you don't see the value of what you existed in, that is why you can't see another person and value them because you don't even see yourself. So you have to really see the lens of love literally because the world that feels like home is a world full of love, overflowing of love. Now I don't need to come and say I need help because The next person is ready to help me as just as I'm ready to help you. I don't need to open my mouth to say help me. You can literally see I need help. You see that my roof is always leaking. Is that not enough reason to know that someone needs help? Right? I want you to say, oh, don't bring somebody down. I want you to say, don't attack somebody. Because all those filthy, insignificant shit will not make sense to anything to exhibit such characters. It will be like something that never existed because its sense would not have energy. When you strip negativity of energy completely, do you know what happens? It has nothing to exist again. It disappears. And the only way you can strip negativity of energy is by filling it with love. This is why you cannot use war to end war. It's like saying you want to use minus 2, minus, and increase it. The only thing that is increasing is the more minus. I don't know. Have you seen minus 1 plus minus 1 is another minus 2? It's not plus 2, it is a decrease. When I talk with passion. I talk with source itself. But if you cannot identify source within you, you will not even see my words as something that you should even pay attention to. You wouldn't even see that the source talking to you because you cannot see on a regular day without anyone, any need, anybody telling you to. It is something that you naturally be interested to do, right? It's always preferable. That is why you cannot force love. When love is something that you naturally prefer to do, like why you know like you know the wisdom of love without someone telling you why you should express love. That is when and only when that love would be something you would see as mighty than you give credit to right now. So when people say love emptily, I shake my head because I understand. I always understood as a child. So imagine then as a child, version of the man I am I have seen that is making me to tell you that right now I just started growing. It should terrify you if you have sense, if you can sense it, that I'm telling you that the version of the man I have seen as a child, I have just started growing into it. But I'm not here to terrify you. That's why I'm not interested to tell you shit. I want you to see it yourself because I can't hide infinite growth. Like I said, I only just started growing. I only just started growing. See, all the people that thought that since they left me, I would still not be alive. I'm alive. To tell you that it is not about somebody helping you. Because truth is, if we are all aware that we are loved, I won't need to protect anybody that I love. And that is the most peaceful life I desire. To not have any reason to protect anyone I love. I don't know why it makes sense to someone that having a reason to protect. Yeah, so I was saying, right, they took my light. One thing about me is I love my positive energy. It makes me appreciate how I perceive the world. Because imagine a world where we all are building something. Right now, there's really nothing we can build that would not get destroyed because we would tear it down with our hands. There's nothing we can really grow on. Imagine when you keep restarting a video. Do you end up watching the whole thing? You never leave that restart point. It's almost like it's loop on the very beginning of the video. You're like, welcome. My name is welcome. My name is welcome. My name is. Imagine all what we are doing in existence right now is welcome. My name is welcome. My name is. Like, when would you say the name and move on and pass that level? But that's the thing about war and killings and violence and all those negative shit. It doesn't allow you to grow. You waste your time on those shit that don't have meaning, and you waste so much effort with it, thinking it's wisdom, that you are seeing it as something to cool and play and plan and even make a lot of people waste time and money on top. Oh my god. And you don't feel stupid without anybody telling you. Does someone need to even say anything? I know, do I need to say anything? Haba, haba, haba. Something that is commonly sensed. Person need to talk. It's just like when you match shit. Does someone need to tell you that you match shit? You not see the shit. Eh? Even if you not see the shit, you not smell it when you keep walking and only you is smelling shit. you know, there's certain things that you should just be like, I exist in love. What is going on? Everybody's complaining God. What is God? But nobody has imagined what God is like. And yet they exist within God. And they joke about God and think God does not have power. There is meaningless thing in God. Ha, God. But you see, it's because God used Himself to better all that can exist. So because God used Himself to better all that can exist, you can't really blame anybody. It's like saying you want to blame God, right? Seriously, and I don't want to blame God. I can't blame God. That is why, no matter how it looks like, there's no time that I'm ready to say, God, why? Because it's like I'm saying why myself, right? And I understand more deeper than I can even express. Sometimes and most times, if not all the times, I understand so many things that when I see something, it's coming from the understanding that you really need to see what I'm saying to get what I'm saying. Right? You really need to see what I'm saying to get what I'm saying. See how light shines and darkness comprehend it not. Ah, fuck. So I just started crying. This is my new history. And I can't wait to see what it will be like 222 on the time. By the end of this year, even this month rather. This month alone, I wonder what it will look like. Like I'm so psyched. I'm so excited and I'm psyched. But yeah, it's those positive things I keep seeing that I want to expand. I want to expand seeing everybody having light. It feels good, don't you think? It doesn't just feel good, it gives an energy of productivity because when there's light, you can create something, you can walk. That's why abroad, right, as it's called, you can walk 247 because there's always light most times. That even the sunset and sunrise doesn't feel like it's made any change other than go to bed and rise, right? And yet some people don't even follow the rules of go to bed and rise. Some people sleep at different times. They sleep during the day, work at night. It's not a fixed pattern to how you can, as long as it feels good to you and it works for you, right? So I wonder why. Sorry, I've had cough since that rain incident. Seriously. I'm not interested in having meaningless conversations. And what has meaning? What has meaning? Tell me what is meaningful if it doesn't feel good to you. Have you ever thought about it? Would you buy clothes if it doesn't feel good to you? Or would you pay for anything if it doesn't feel good to you? Would you go out to meet someone if it doesn't feel good to you? Like, if you are genuinely true and honest with yourself, you would see that you're wasting your time with anything that doesn't feel good to you. It doesn't make any iota of sense. Like, it makes no sense that it is so poorly senseless that you are wondering why anyone is going through hell. Like, literally. Because happiness is free. Happiness is fucking free. It's the freest thing you can have access to on any given day. But you cannot key into that emotion of happiness in a nervous system that is screaming, I'm under attack, I'm under attack. Have you seen people that are having war? Do you think they're thinking about how beautiful the clothes they want to wear is? Do you think they're thinking about fashion? Do you know what they're thinking about? They're thinking about how they can stay alive that day. That is how war feels like. Just how would I survive that day? And it's a mentality that is natural for Nigerians. The average Nigeria is thinking, how will I survive that day? Every day. That's what all is in the head of an average Nigerian. That's the major thing you can think about. And you think it is wisdom. How can that make sense to anyone that is making that happen? Like, those responsible for something like that, does it make any sense? Because you cannot do anything in a nervous system that is panicking. Have you seen people that are coming that have fought wars and are so traumatized that they hear anything and they're like, because just scared to their guts that the fear has almost crippled their soul finish. And someone was telling me to come and join the army. Army to do what? What shitty, stupid shit is that? To fight what? What was that? Just because some people can have mind and chest and full chest and join army does not mean that it makes sense to some people. It is stupidity to me. It can never make sense to me. I can never see a soldier and say well done because there is nothing well, never is there anything done. There is nothing to say anything about. If you think you're a soldier and you are offended by what I'm saying, then it is your cup of tea. It is your government's cup of tea. In short, the whole politics and stupidity of existence right now is doesn't make sense to say that there's something that is so proud of. What? I didn't ask you to go and fight. And if you think that there's something fighting for and killing for than living in harmony, then wow, you really need to tell me why it's if you see children fighting, you would go and separate them and stop them from fighting. But yet, full abled so-called adults cannot live in peace. That one idiot thinks putting up a borderline would separate spirits. Can you think about it? But that's what we do. We don't even know how we look like when we react in fear. Because fear has rippled the state of survival mode that it makes sense to someone with a nervous system of survival mode. Fear, war, control makes sense. Because if you understand that God used himself to better all that can exist, you know that whatever you do to anyone, you do to yourself. So it means that when you go out and you think you are justified in going out to kill, yes, you are doing that to yourself. So you cannot make peace with yourself. See my sister and her friends. I just shake my head and I smile. Because they were once all together, right? Having similar vision, each bringing their unique side together to create something beautiful. All of a sudden, one person got a boyfriend. The whole story changed. The boy, as we knew it, when you feel intimidated, I don't know how he managed to do it, but he isolated the girl. But the thing is, not even the boy's fault because it is usually that girl's pattern of being in a relationship and her boyfriend, right, would make everybody worthless and the only thing that is important. Labor my light! Yay. You see, it takes living in Nigeria for this kind of thing to happen. Imagine me shouting they brought my light because I'm living in Nigeria. NEPA has traumatized me. Should I even shout something like that? So imagine, so this is me doing amebo, serious amebo. because I don't say anything. I'm just always silent when this shit is going on. I'm just observing and watching. But the truth is, I'm not judging her in the sense that it's good to find someone that you feel is a good team player. Because the truth is, for me, there's nobody I want to be with other than my divine union. Now, in my case, do not see my case and her case the same way. I don't have anybody that is associated with me on that level that if even right now, the friends I have grown over the years, if they didn't hear from me for 10 months straight, right? They know that last I'm alive, I'm healthy. God God day. I would I would be fine. I would keep pushing, right? That is what I wish for everyone. But they are more aware that it does not mean that just because they didn't hear from me, I hate them or I don't love them, that kind of thing. They don't feel like that. And it doesn't change the vision because even if I'm not actively in contact with, I'm always partic- participating in working towards that vision in my own way, doing what would make that vision come to life, right? Because if you and your friends have vision and you see, okay, we can all hang out, right, together, how do you want to bring that into play? Okay, all of us would do our individual working towards getting some way, right? But the truth is, everybody can change different paths and go different ways. So I'm not even judging her because not just because of myself, but because I can understand where she's coming from. She's just trying to feel loved as much as she can, and that attention makes her feel loved. So she dedicates her energy and invests her energy where she feels good, which is being with a guy. And it doesn't have a bad thing in that. Now, if her friends could see it that way, right, maybe to make them less offended. But the fact that it is not even about that alone now, it's about the value she placed on herself, that she placed on her friends, that she placed on her boyfriend and everything. It goes deep into a lot of things of because for me, I wouldn't want to just because I have a divine counterpart and we are now living together. I will now try to change her whole life that she doesn't have any friends. I would isolate her from her friends. I wouldn't do that, seriously. Wait, before I'm attacked, I would not do that because it is not my doing. I don't know how. I don't know how to make someone feel like I'm caging them. I don't like that. I want you to feel free and be in that your true authentic self to express yourself in your rawness, right? I love being by myself. That is me. It's because I've grown to see that genuine positivity most often than none is only possible with myself. So for me, it is easy to be with myself comfortably. I love the atmosphere. I love the energy. I love the peace. I love vibrating in that awareness that my energy is on undefiled or whatever you call it, right? I love to concentrate on me, just like she loves to concentrate on her boyfriend. You see, that's the difference. She has a boyfriend, I have myself, right? And everything that feels good to me includes my divine counterparts. So I'm not going to just shake their life and make them not have anyone around them just because I'm in their life. I don't plan to remove every person else in their life. It doesn't make sense to do that just because. See, I want free will. I love my own company in the sense that even when I'm with my family, right, my biological people, I have always found myself by myself, even when it looks like I'm with so many people, right? So in that sense, I know the only time when I wouldn't feel by myself is when I'm with my divine counterpart. And so for me, when I was asked, who would you rather want to remind you of who you are? I would always simply say my divine counterpart. Why? Because in every version of my consciousness, I would always be by myself, alone. Not literally alone, but because we're all spirit existing within spirit, there's no separation in spirit, so you can never be alone, right? So I wouldn't say I'm trying to be alone. I wouldn't just put myself, right, in energy that is not excited about being around me. I don't know. I think it's because maybe the way I was born, which is a long story, right? Because I was that child that was expecting a very exciting, energetic response because of the gift of nature of the child. But not getting that response right, the child just felt, well, then since that is how it is, I would find my own, circle where that would be genuinely true to me and keep it that way. That was me growing up, feeling like if I can't be accepted where I genuinely love and care for people, right? I would go out to where that sorry, genuinely care and love my biological people, right? If I can't be accepted with my biological people, right, I would always go out and find who would accept me. So for me, there's always been about who would genuinely accept me right from the start. Even as long as the first time we meet, that is energy I feel, right? That is why I take my time to observe. So when I'm feeling that that is not true in the energy, I don't waste my time to disappear because my energy likes excitement. I don't know, you can call me whatever you want to call it. At this point, I've accepted it that my energy likes excitement. I am exciting. There's no boring moments in myself. So why should I force anybody to suffer such things? Like why should I make you have a boring moment just to be with? It doesn't make sense. It's not worth it. There's nothing worth making you have a boring moment just because of what? There's nothing for me. Oh, there's nothing more worthy than you're feeling good. So I don't understand why it is not the same for you. Because for me, it is like that. I can't see any reasonable thing in it. Honestly speaking, right? I'm just kind of surprised that people can think about it and not see it the same way. So yes, the world I see in love is the only world I want to see. I don't want to see anything aside it. Other things can disappear, fade out. I'm tired of hearing anything like, oh, they're trying to bring down somebody. Like, why? Shouldn't even make sense to me. Like, how can that even be something that even the person that is reading the energy is not saying, I will go and call your mother for you? Because person reading the energy probably can see something that should be able to at least arrest the person that is doing that shit. Because even that should be, you don't understand, person catch you say dey kill person, that person that is catching you should be able to take you to the police station and lock you up. It's that bad. I'm not saying mistakes do not happen, but it is not lack of love that would create anything positive. It is love that is the only goodness in existence. The only reason why someone will help me is because of the love within them. So why won't I want love to be everywhere? Because I see the power in unity. I see how we grow when there is love. If not, we are just repeating that loop of hello, my name is, hello, my name is, hello, my name is, instead of playing the whole video. Because I don't know how it makes sense that hello, my name is, hello, my name is something that doesn't seem very stupid to us. Repeating the loop of destroying, rebuilding. That's the meaning of hello, my name is. Because you're destroying the foundation, rebuilding the foundation, destroying the foundation, rebuilding the foundation, destroying the foundation, rebuilding the foundation. You never leave that point of foundation. Why should it be like that? When there is just the beginning of what else you can achieve, you have not even started. Like, so yes, sorry this video ended up being an hours long. I've said I will not do so much of a lengthy video. So if you can speed this video up, right? If YouTube had that way of editing your videos, like all those editing app, it would be nice. Seriously. Imagine if we had collaboration. There would be something like that because YouTube would see there is need for something like that. Those editing apps will see that there is need for an online edition, that kind of thing that can work like that. Let us see how we can come together and those kind of collaborations that make sense. But instead of that, they have a lot of competitions. You see another one will start up a new YouTube video. I'm starting my own YouTube streaming this thing. But it's not like I'm saying it's a bad thing. It's good to have many access, many different, because we have different preference, many different. But if we work together, there's a lot we can achieve together than trying to bring down each other or trying to do what has already been done. Because why? So that you just say this is my own. Like Everybody's building car. Who will now build flying houses? Like, I just want to wake up and see that there's already flying houses of Africa, and my house is the top one bubble like that. And I just jump down and I'm like, yippee! There's so many things we can do than what we waste our energy on. So many things. Future is infinite. It's endless. And the only way forward in this future that you are seeing, that you are hearing, that you love, that if you love the idea of this future at all, the only possible way is love. It cannot work out of love. It cannot work beside love. It has to work in love. The only possible way is love. Love practically, genuinely expressed. Not performing acts so that people will see and say, oh, that guy, that is a love guy. No, something that is true you, something that is true to you, that it is you, that is still the same way you would be when you are in your toilet. It's the same way you would be when you're outside. That kind of genuine rawness. Nothing to hide. Because we know that oneness is the wisdom of what we exist within. It's not more like God for all of us, everybody for himself. That statement does not make any sense. So where there's division, plans cannot move forward. So you see, my sister and her friends, all the plans they had to do stuff together just disappeared. Some people will say that, oh, are you sure that there are no enemies that are trying to separate them? Hmm, yes. The enemy should be called the boyfriend now. But the truth is, the enemy is not even the boyfriend because the boyfriend is just innocent here. The boyfriend is younger than the babe, right? Sorry I shared that much. It's not even about the boyfriend. It's that that's her pattern of value system. So she's always going to repeat the same pattern in the same circumstances. Ah, that's why I don't get carried away by people's good side because the same pattern of how they treat people in their whatever side is the same way they will treat you in that same circumstances if you happen to be the person on the receiving end. So why waste your time? That's why if you are if you are with me, it feels like I'm making you so cautious of what you are saying. But the truth is I'm like I don't know how to but read everything. So it's the way I see you insulting someone or talking about somebody that you appear to care about. I wouldn't want to be that kind of person in your life. I didn't want to be close to you, let alone that kind of person that you appear to care about. You might be thinking that maybe I am wishing that I know you. I'm not though. I'm just wondering why should you treat someone that you care about like that? Me that you don't even know from anywhere that you're just getting to know. I'm really wondering why the circumstances will not make you respond the way you would, right? It's just the way you would. It's what you would naturally do. What comes easy to you. That is why I always prefer free will. So I always want anybody to treat me the way they would rather treat me in their free will, rather than high service or pretense. That thing is disgusting. I don't do that shit. I don't do anybody like that. I don't even know how someone can do something like that. So sorry that this video is 1 hour straight. I don't know how people do that shit. Sometimes I try to act funny because of like a movie scene that entered my head. Especially when you see cartoons and you try to mimic the response or reaction of the character of the cartoon. Sometimes I find myself doing that shit. So yeah, sorry about taking this video longer. The spirit was leading and I didn't want to hold back.